When a woman starts ignoring you, it can feel frustrating and confusing, especially if you were enjoying a good connection or trying to get to know her better. Many men misinterpret this situation and end up reacting in ways that push her further away. But here's the truth. How you handle being ignored says a lot about your confidence, emotional intelligence, and understanding of relationships. First, let's break down the situation. A woman may ignore you for several reasons, and not all of them are negative. She could be genuinely busy, testing your interest, feeling unsure about her own feelings, or even waiting to see how you handle the distance. On the other hand, she may have lost interest or found something in your behavior off-putting. The key is not to jump to conclusions or react emotionally. Instead, approach the situation with maturity and self-assurance. The most important thing you can do is stay calm and avoid desperation. Resist the urge to bombard her with messages, call repeatedly, or confront her with questions like, "Why are you ignoring me?" These behaviors can come across as needy and only worsen the situation. Instead, give her space. People are naturally drawn to those who are confident and self-reliant, not those who seek constant validation. While you're giving her space, use this time to reflect. Ask yourself some honest questions. Have you been overly available? Did you come on too strong? Or could there be external factors in her life causing her to pull back? Self-awareness is crucial. If you recognize that your behavior might have been a factor, make a mental note to adjust in the future. But don't overanalyze or blame yourself excessively. Next, focus on maintaining your own life and priorities. One of the most attractive qualities in a man is independence. When you show that you have a full, fulfilling life outside of her, it signals that you value yourself and won't rely on her attention to feel secure. Spend time with friends, pursue hobbies, or dive deeper into your goals. This shift in energy can often make you more appealing, as it communicates that you won't crumble just because someone pulls back.Finally, if she continues to ignore you after some time, it's okay to reach out one last time with a calm, confident message. Something like, "Hey, I've noticed some distance lately. If you're not interested, that's okay. I just wanted to check in." This approach shows that you value clarity, respect her feelings, and aren't afraid of rejection. If she doesn't respond, accept it gracefully and move on. Not every connection will work out, and that's okay. Remember, being ignored isn't always a bad thing. It's an opportunity to show your emotional strength, learn from the experience, and grow as a person. Handling these situations with maturity will not only make you a better partner, but will also increase your confidence in future relationships. Here are 5 things you should do when a woman ignores you. Stay calm and avoid overreacting. When a woman ignores you, the first and most important thing you need to do is stay calm. It's natural to feel confused, frustrated, or even rejected when someone you're interested in suddenly pulls away, but letting those emotions take over will only lead to bad decisions. Many men make the mistake of overreacting in this situation, and it often backfires, pushing the woman even further away. Instead, staying calm shows maturity, self-control, and emotional strength, all traits that women find attractive. Overreacting usually happens when emotions take control. You might feel an urge to text her repeatedly, call her to demand an explanation, or confront her with questions like, "Why are you ignoring me?" While this reaction might feel justified in the heat of the moment, it can come across as needy, insecure, or even aggressive. This type of behavior can make her feel overwhelmed or uncomfortable, which will only worsen the situation. Instead, take a step back and give yourself time to process what's happening. Understand that being ignored isn't always about you. There could be many reasons why she's pulling back. She might be busy, dealing with personal issues, or unsure about her own feelings. By staying calm, you give her and yourself the space to figure things out without unnecessary pressure. Another key to staying calm is to shift your focus away from her and back onto yourself. When a woman ignores you, it can feel like your sense of self-worth is being challenged. But here's the truth. Your value doesn't depend on her attention. Remind yourself that you were confident and happy before she came into your life, and you still have control over your emotions and actions. If you feel the urge to reach out, pause and ask yourself whether it's coming from a place of insecurity or genuine interest. A calm, confident man doesn't act out of desperation. He values himself enough to wait and see how the situation unfolds. This doesn't mean you're being passive or giving up. It simply means you're giving her the freedom to make her own choice while maintaining your dignity. Practicing patience is another important part of staying calm. It's easy to let your mind spiral into negative thoughts when someone doesn't respond, but overthinking will only make you feel worse. Instead of obsessing over why she's ignoring you, focus on activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. Whether it's working out, spending time with friends, or pursuing a hobby, staying busy will help you feel grounded and in control. Finally, remember that staying calm is a sign of strength. Women respect men who can handle difficult situations with grace and composure. By not overreacting, you show her that you're secure in yourself and don't need constant attention to feel valued. Even if things don't work out, you'll come away from the situation with your confidence intact and ready for whatever comes next. Reflect on the situation. When a woman starts ignoring you, it can be frustrating and confusing, but before you make any rash decisions or jump to conclusions, it's important to take a step back and reflect on the situation. This means taking some time to think about what has happened, what might be causing her behavior, and whether there's anything in your own actions that could have contributed to the situation. Reflecting gives you clarity and helps you avoid unnecessary mistakes. The first thing to ask yourself is, did I do something to cause this? Think about your recent interactions with her. Have you been too persistent, overly available, or made her feel uncomfortable? Sometimes when we're really into someone, we can unintentionally come on too strong. For example, constantly texting her, trying to make plans, or sending too many messages can create pressure and make her feel overwhelmed. If you've been too forward, this could be a reason she's pulling back. Reflecting on your behavior helps you recognize any red flags and adjust moving forward. It's also important to consider the pace of the relationship. Every woman is different, and some might need more time to open up or get comfortable with someone new. If you've only recently started talking or dating, it's possible that she's just not ready for deeper involvement yet. Women can sometimes need space to assess their feelings, and that doesn't necessarily mean she's not interested. Instead of assuming the worst, try to think about whether the relationship has progressed too quickly for her comfort. Another key point to reflect on is her life outside of your interactions. Is she going through something stressful or difficult in her personal life? She may be dealing with work pressures, family issues, or even emotional struggles that have nothing to do with you. Often, people need space when they're dealing with challenges. If you know she's busy or dealing with something personal, this could explain why she's distancing herself. Keep in mind that her behavior might not be about you at all. Overthinking is another pitfall you should avoid. It's easy to let your mind spiral and assume that her ignoring you means she's lost interest, doesn't like you, or is seeing someone else. However, before jumping to conclusions, it's important to pause and look at the situation logically. Are you sure she's ignoring you, or is she simply busy or taking some time for herself? By reflecting carefully, you can avoid overreacting and avoid making false assumptions that can affect your confidence and decision-making. Lastly, reflect on what you want out of the situation. If she's ignoring you, are you okay with letting things go, or do you still want to pursue her? Reflection isn't just about figuring out why she's pulling back. It's also about understanding your own feelings and deciding how you want to handle things. Being clear about what you want helps you make better decisions moving forward. Reflecting on the situation allows you to handle it more thoughtfully and with emotional intelligence. It gives you the opportunity to adjust your approach, communicate better, and avoid unnecessary conflict. By taking the time to reflect, you'll be able to navigate the situation with a clearer mind and a stronger sense of self. Give her space. When a woman starts ignoring you, one of the most important things you can do is give her space. This might feel counterintuitive, especially if you're feeling rejected or anxious, but it's one of the best ways to handle the situation with maturity and confidence. By giving her space, you show that you respect her boundaries, value your own independence, and are emotionally secure enough not to chase her. Firstly, it's crucial to understand that everyone needs space at times, especially when things are moving too quickly or when life gets stressful. Just like you would need time to yourself to process your feelings or clear your head, she might need the same. This doesn't necessarily mean she's lost interest in you. It could simply mean she's taking a break from the intensity of constant communication or is busy dealing with other aspects of her life. When you notice that she's pulling back, resist the urge to reach out constantly, send multiple texts, or call her. Being overly available or bombarding her with messages can feel suffocating. Think about it. No one wants to feel pressured or trapped, especially when they're not ready to open up. By stepping back, you give her the space to miss you and to reflect on how she feels about the relationship. Often, absence can create a sense of curiosity and even attraction, as it allows her time to process her emotions without feeling overwhelmed. Now, giving space doesn't mean completely disappearing. It's not about playing games or acting cold to make her chase you. It's about showing that you respect her need for space and are confident enough to not demand her attention. If you've been texting her a lot, cut back and give her room to breathe. Instead of texting her every day, allow a few days to pass before you reach out again. This break gives both of you time to reflect and decide what you truly want. Another important point is don't jump to conclusions when she pulls away. It can be easy to start thinking, she's not interested anymore, or I did something wrong, but these assumptions can lead to unnecessary stress and miscommunication. Sometimes she may need space to figure out her own feelings, or she might just need a breather to deal with personal matters. By giving her that space, you show that you respect her as an individual and that you're not relying on her for validation. While giving her space, it's also important to focus on yourself. Don't let her absence define your emotional state. Use this time to engage in your own hobbies, spend time with friends, or focus on self-improvement. When you're busy living your own life and not constantly waiting for her to respond, you become more attractive to her. A man who has his own passions and a fulfilling life is always more appealing than someone who revolves entirely around a relationship. In summary, giving her space is a sign of maturity, respect, and emotional stability. It allows both of you to reflect, recharge, and come back with a clearer perspective. By staying calm, avoiding desperation, and focusing on your own life, you increase your chances of building a healthy relationship, whether it's with her or someone else in the future. Focus on yourself. When a woman starts ignoring you, it's easy to fall into the trap of obsessing over her and trying to figure out what went wrong. But one of the best things you can do in this situation is to focus on yourself. It might sound simple, but it's incredibly important for your mental and emotional well-being. Not only does it help you deal with the situation in a healthy way, but it also makes you more attractive in the long run. Here's why focusing on yourself is key and how to do it effectively. Regain your confidence. When a woman pulls back or ignores you, it can feel like a blow to your self-esteem. However, your confidence should never depend on one person's attention. Focusing on yourself helps you rebuild and maintain your self-worth. Think about all the qualities that make you a great person, your skills, talents, achievements, and passions. Take time to remind yourself of these things. Instead of looking for validation from her, learn to find it from within. This inner confidence will not only help you handle this situation better, but will also make you more attractive to others, including her, in the future. Shift your energy to personal growth. A breakup, or even just a period of uncertainty, can be an opportunity for personal growth. Use this time to improve yourself, whether that's working on your physical fitness, learning a new skill, or developing your career. When you focus on your own development, you're not only growing as a person, but also becoming someone who is fulfilling and independent. Women are naturally drawn to men who have their own lives and goals. When you have a fulfilling life outside of the relationship, it signals to her that you don't need her to complete you, which is a very attractive quality. Stop overthinking. When a woman ignores you, it's tempting to start overanalyzing every detail of your interactions. You might wonder if you said something wrong, if you were too forward, or if she's interested in someone else. While reflecting on the situation is important, don't let overthinking take over. Constantly replaying your texts, your conversations, and your actions in your mind can lead to unnecessary stress and anxiety. Instead, focus on things that bring you joy and fulfillment. Engage in activities that make you feel good about yourself and give you a sense of accomplishment. This way, your emotional state won't be dictated by her actions or responses. Reclaim your independence. The best way to handle a situation where you're being ignored is to reclaim your independence. Whether you're single or in a relationship, it's important to have your own life and interests. When you stop relying on her attention for your happiness, you show that you can be content on your own. This doesn't mean being cold or distant, but rather focusing on your hobbies, spending time with friends, and pursuing your own goals. This independence makes you more interesting and shows that you value yourself, which can often make a woman more interested in you in return. Stay busy and keep moving forward. Being overly focused on her can make you feel stuck. Stay busy and keep moving forward with your life. If you spend too much time dwelling on why she's ignoring you, you're wasting precious time that could be spent working on yourself or enjoying other aspects of life. Take care of your health, build your career, and nurture your friendships. Not only will this help you stay distracted from the uncertainty, but it will also keep you grounded and confident no matter what happens with her. In conclusion, focusing on yourself is one of the best ways to handle being ignored by a woman. It gives you the strength to remain emotionally stable, improves your overall well-being, and makes you a more attractive, confident individual. When you live your life for yourself, you not only become more attractive to women, but also ensure that you're emotionally fulfilled, regardless of the outcome with her. Communicate clearly when appropriate. When a woman starts ignoring you, it's natural to feel confused and unsure of what's going on. One of the best ways to handle this situation is to communicate clearly, but only when the time is right. Effective communication can clear up misunderstandings, help you understand where you stand, and demonstrate maturity and respect. However, it's important to approach this with a level head, patience, and an understanding of when and how to reach out. Here's why communication matters, and how you can do it in a way that works for both of you. Don't rush into it. When a woman pulls back, your first instinct might be to send a message immediately asking, "Why are you ignoring me?" or "What did I do wrong?" But rushing to communicate out of frustration or anxiety can often make the situation worse. It's important to give both her and yourself some time before reaching out. You need time to collect your thoughts and assess the situation, and she may need space to process her own feelings. If you contact her too soon, it might come across as needy or desperate, which isn't attractive. Give her a little room to breathe and reflect before deciding if or when you should communicate. Be direct and respectful. When you do decide to reach out, make sure your message is clear and respectful. Avoid sending multiple messages or asking for an explanation in an emotional or accusatory tone. Instead, be straightforward and calm. A simple, respectful message like, "Hey, I've noticed some distance lately, and I just wanted to check in. If you're not interested, that's okay. I'd appreciate knowing where we stand," shows maturity and gives her the space to share her feelings if she chooses to do so. This approach is non-confrontational, allowing her to respond honestly without feeling pressured or defensive. Keep your expectations realistic. When you communicate, make sure you manage your expectations. Just because you send a message doesn't mean she'll respond the way you hope. She might not be ready to talk, or she may still be processing her emotions. Understand that her response, or lack of one, is not a reflection of your worth. If she does respond, be open and listen to what she has to say. Avoid interrupting or defending yourself immediately. Sometimes the best thing you can do is listen and show empathy for what she's going through. If she doesn't respond at all, it's important to accept that and move on. This shows emotional strength and the ability to handle rejection gracefully. Avoid overthinking. Once you send a message, try not to overthink or dwell on it. You've done your part in reaching out clearly and respectfully. Don't obsess over her response or lack thereof. If you find yourself constantly checking your phone or analyzing every word of her response, you're letting the situation take over your emotional state. Stay calm, stay busy, and remind yourself that you're in control of your emotions, not her response. If you've communicated clearly, you've done everything you can at that point. Use communication as a tool for clarity. Effective communication isn't just about getting a response. It's about gaining clarity on where both of you stand. If the woman is truly interested, a direct conversation might bring you closer, allowing you both to understand each other's feelings better. On the other hand, if she's not interested or continues to ignore you after your clear communication, you'll have the information you need to move on confidently. Communicating clearly and respectfully shows that you're not afraid to face difficult conversations, which is a sign of emotional maturity. This can help you gain more respect, regardless of the outcome. Conclusion. In the end, communicating clearly when a woman ignores you is about balancing patience with maturity. It's not about forcing a response or demanding attention. It's about respectfully and confidently expressing your feelings, setting boundaries, and gaining clarity. By approaching the situation with thoughtfulness, directness, and a level head, you show emotional intelligence and self-respect. This not only gives you the answers you need, but also sets the stage for healthier, more respectful relationships in the future. In conclusion, when a woman ignores you, the most important thing is to stay calm and not overreact. Panicking or acting desperate will only push her further away. Instead, take time to reflect on the situation. Consider whether your actions contributed to her distance, and if there's a bigger picture you might be missing. Give her space to process her own feelings and needs, and understand that sometimes space is essential for both of you. While doing this, focus on yourself. Keep improving, stay busy, and don't let her absence define your happiness. Focus on your goals, confidence, and independence, and you'll become a more attractive and self-assured individual. When the time feels right, communicate clearly and respectfully. Reach out without demanding answers or being confrontational, but instead express your feelings honestly and directly. If she's truly interested, a respectful conversation can bring clarity. However, keep your expectations realistic, as you can't control her response. Whether she responds positively or not, by handling the situation with maturity, you show emotional strength and confidence. Ultimately, staying calm, reflecting on your actions, giving her space, focusing on your growth, and communicating clearly will help you navigate this situation with dignity and self-respect.